I don't know.
Or just wait a few days.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
it. Get through
72 degrees right now, and Sister Réjane joins us right now when she's not, gardening, cooking, hiking, biking, reading books. She's spending some time with us for Nun Sense this morning. Hey, sister, how are you?
Good. How are you both, Ron and Dave?
We're doing fabulous. Thank you. We always look forward to your cheerful voice. You're always so up and happy, and we really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Ron, however, is a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And we just deal with that.
So coffee always helps me. But hey, here's my thing to beat the heat. Watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
Eat watermelon.
There you go.
I'm going to send producer Tim on a watermelon run this morning.
Yes. It's so great. Oh, and it's over 100. I'm like, yeah, we're in the 90s too. That's what we're eating. We're eating watermelon.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, kind of staying with my gardening theme and outside. My topic today is kind of rooted in Christ means letting go of my agenda, and but kind of using a tree analogy is so that's my connect in. Yeah, and I think like in many people's lives, right, there's a lot of changes going on, and my community's in the same boat. My religious community is going through lots of discussions and reflections regarding our land and our relationship with people on the margins. And so we're aware lots of changes are coming soon, and it feels like we're headed towards lots of life transitions. And so last night as I was praying with the sister I live with, we were reflecting on how a tree symbolizes our lives right now. And, here in the Midwest, at least, because I recognize many parts of the world do not have 4 seasons, but we do see 4 seasons with our trees, from spring, the green foliage and flowering, to the darker green of summer, and to fall's brilliant colors, and finally to the barren dormancy of winter, which I love. I love watching that. And change is very visible, right, in a tree's life cycle. And yet they're rooted in the ground in one place. So, I would say for us as, humans, we don't have visible seasonal changes like a tree, but we do have seasons of our lives. And I find oftentimes writers and poets, and even in the Bible, there's analogy about that with a tree. And I think of, like, for instance, if we lose a loved one after a long illness, grief can take a period of going within and being dormant like winter for a long period as we rest and recover from all the energy it took to be a caregiver, right? But on the other side, having the birth of one's first child and the joy of watching them discover and experience everything for the first time, it is a new awakening like spring for a parent. So we know change is a natural part of the human life cycle, but it's extremely important to figure out if you have the root system to weather and grow with the changes. And that's where I kind of bring in, for all of us as Christians, right, we're called through our baptism to root and ground ourselves in the living water of Christ, which through prayer nourishes our faith life. We must strengthen our inner life and relationship with God because our external world is constantly bringing change to our doorsteps. And, one of the beautiful things about a tree is in a strong wind or storm, its branches and trunk have the flexibility to bend and wave with the wind, but only so much as the roots go deep and anchor them to the earth. And I've seen a lot of trees after a storm that have been uprooted because their roots just were not deep enough. So we too need to grow and stretch our roots deep into Christ through the Eucharist and prayer to help us weather those storms. So, and right now, here we are in Kansas on the verge of the transition from summer into fall. I can't skip a season. But that wouldn't be good. We got to have fall. We got to. But, we think of trees and the falling leaves. And so what I love is a tree is firmly rooted, but it knows when it's time to let go. And for me, this is one of life's hardest lessons, and I was reflecting on that last night. The phrase letting go and letting God is really apt for me, because if I let go of my fear of the unknown, like what the future holds, And if I lean in and trust in God's direction for my life and my community, that's what it's going to take. But half the time in prayer, I'm like having an argument, saying to God, like, hey, I've got this figured out. Let's do it my way. And somehow that doesn't work. And what I love is in a spiritual reading, I was reading it, God nudges us, right, in a certain direction. And so we have the choice to choose how to follow that nudge. So as we say our prayers, with the Our Father, it always says, thy will be done in heaven. And I think I am constantly called to recognize it is God's will we are praying for here on earth, not our own. So let's take a lesson from the trees falling leaves and trust God enough to let God make space for God's agenda and not our own.
What a wonderful lesson. Thank you so much for that, Sister Réjane.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you, sister.
Okay. You do the same. Thanks.
We've got the heat. Sister brings the sunshine.
Yeah,
there we go.
it.
Stay with us.